So I started out working in IT as a systems administrator at high school. So I started out learning fairly basic skills, basic operating system skills. I worked with Windows servers and Linux servers, group policies, Active Directories, all that sort of stuff. Very low level things. While I was there, I was studying at university doing a Bachelor of Information Systems, and decided that I sort of liked software development. So I started developing some software on the side. So I had a fairly strong fundamental development background, and that was further reinforced by going to university and studying some software courses there. And before I came to Servian, I worked as a software developer for a small company out in Parramatta, and primarily doing web applications. It wasn't a huge base; it was used by a couple of thousand people, but it was a good experience and a good start to working at Servian. So I didn't have too many data warehousing skills when I started Servian, but I developed them and started working more in the higher tier companies. So I started out, the small business, and I think that was actually a really good place for me to start, because in the smaller businesses, you're not this tiny little cog in some massive system that's got thousands of employees. You often do 4 or 5 or 6 different roles and get a really good exposure to lots of different ways of doing things. In the tier 1 companies, you're not going through and you're not SSHing to servers, and you're not looking and analysing network traffic. But in doing that and having done that in the past, that gives me a better understanding of how the higher end tools work, and gives me a good all-round understanding of the whole process around the businesses.